can't go into an auto parts store anymore and go, I have a LS engine in a 57 Chevy, I need injector seals. So somebody's going to get gray hair. It's probably going to be me. But I brought the part number, so let's see if that helps.
It says I got one.
I'll take them.
How many did you need?
2, but if you have 2, I'll take them, so we have some extra. But if you have 1, I'll take the 1. We're looking good right now. Well, we're looking like we may have the O-rings. We're off to Rob's to see if we can get this thing running. If we get this thing running, you're going to be in the presence of one happy dude. Oh my God, Jericho Turnpike is a nightmare. This is the reason I want to leave Long Island. Again, the traffic. Should it be rush hour traffic at 4:17? Don't people work till 5 o'clock? You always know it's going to be a good day when you walk up and there's a old, ugliest manifold ever made from GM. Domo arigato, Mr. Rabato.
How you doing?
How was work, dear?
Was good.
Yeah. This, you know what? I was hoping, if anybody cares what we're doing, we got to get that plug out.
Yes.
What kind of Chinese arithmetic are you using? And
Chinese kind.
whoever put this in, is that racist, saying Chinese arithmetic?
Yes.
Is it?
No.
They do use a different type of... All right, get the injectors out and put the O-rings on them. Did you do the tops, all of them?
I did.
All right, do the bottoms then.
Relax. I just said let me get stuff I bought. Oh my God, dude.
Martian P. Well, the top ones were orange before the original ones on the bottom were black. All right.
The guy at the injector service place says he can actually, you don't have to replace the whole injector, you can actually snap a new hat into it.
That's interesting.
It is interesting. I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't even know they had hats. I didn't even know they had heads, let alone... Do you have to have a head to have a hat? I would think so. Yeah, if you want to know why I wanted to replace these, look at this thing. What is that?
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, see? It's going. You know why, right? Because I got the G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip.
gorilla strength.
Maybe monkeypox strength. I don't know about gorilla strength anymore. Do I have a big nose? My friend said I had a big nose.
No.
Karate Mike, you know who you are. Gave me a complex years ago. Alright, stick that rail and start screwing it down. Here are those couple extra screws. So, do you have Teflon tape?
Yeah. It is actually outside behind the car.
I know. It's my happy dance. Oh my god, after all that, it's bigger. It's 5/8. A lot of practice.
5/8. 5/8?
I told you it was 5/8.
Yeah, you told me 3 times. It just wasn't listening.
Mike, can you grab me a 9/16? I told you it was 5/8. Free help can never be wrong. Put this in. So, how tight do you make an NPT fitting? Just until the fitting cracks, and then you back it off half turn. Did you use just the right amount of torque? How do you know? Let's use levays. Alright. I want the meat. Wiggle it on. That's a quarter of an inch. 3/16 heavy if you're a carpenter. 0.150 if you're a machinist. 1/8 of an inch if you're a good carpenter. 125 if you're a machinist. Did anybody pick up? It didn't move at all. Perfect if you're Andy. Just keep trying until you get the right one. I know it was one of these.
Ice cream!
Stop!
Does he stop?
If he does, I'm gonna have to buy some even if I throw it out because that feels good. So here's a problem with these truck blocks and with the alternator way up here that we found out. This is all learning as we go. This hose came with a manifold and it's a crossover for the fuel line. One fuel line feeds in pressure, it crosses over and feeds pressure and returns on the other side. So this fuel line came with two 90s on the end. When you have a regular number 10x6 ORB, this is a number 10 ORB. It's a straight thread with an O-ring. This is a number 6 AN. If the fuel rail was going in this way, how it originally was, this was supposed to go on here. The problem is that when this is on here, you either need to cut a hole in your alternator, which is probably not a good idea because shit in there is spinning and creating pretty high current voltage, or what we found, what Rob found, I gotta give him credit because this stuff's not easy to research. It can get really frustrating. This is a 10 ORB, the straight thread with the O-ring. This actually has
8, Andy.
Oh, it's 8. I'm sorry, 8. Since it's an 8x8, we have to reduce it to 6, which is that me? Oh, so unprofessional. But now,
What?
if you see, oh, that is me. Very unprofessional. So the fuel rails sit right here. Look how close that is if you can get on top of that. It's literally a quarter of an inch away from the back of the alternator.
But that's all we needed.
Yeah, but
Now it clears.
is this a great idea, putting a tight 90 in a fuel system on this car that's making 400 horsepower? It's not going to be a problem. If you had a car that's making 1,200, 1,500, 2,000, you would never want to do this. This would be a really bad idea. What's that?
The car is not registered.
I told you to get it registered in case you have to move it. What if you want to bring it to the
Well,
alignment guy besides the hokey half-ass alignment I did to keep it so we could push the friggin' thing? And this car was so towed out, 4 guys couldn't push it. It was like, oh, it was bad. So I gave it an Andean alignment. Before we go too far, why don't we start with tighten everything up and ignition cycle it so we can, the fuel pump will come on and pressurize everything and we can fix all the leaks we're going to have. What's the biggest wrench you have, Rob?
adjustable. Where the hell did we put it?
Could you imagine if the doctor was in the operating room and he said, "Nurse, give me the scalpel," and she went, hold on. Please leave me a comment if you have like the perfect working conditions where you're not in a one-car garage and just everything is, you can walk around your car without having to touch it, without pulling a jack past it and slamming it into the quarter panel. I literally, you won't believe this, but my wife Pam came in and she goes, "There's a hole in the side of the Blazer." I had this little S10 Blazer that I would plow my driveway with and drive around in the winter because it was 4-wheel drive. And I put a hole through the side of the car, right where they rot out in front of the wheel well, with the jack handle. I'm on my driveway because I'm working outside in the winter, and I bring the jack back and I poke a hole through my car because it was rotted, but you couldn't see it. It was rotted until I poked a hole in it. So she comes in the house. She goes, "There's a hole in the side of the car, like a bee burrowed a hole. You know, you see a bee burrow a hole in the wood, they make that perfect round hole. She goes, it looks like some animal made a hole in the side of the car. And I go, I cannot confirm or deny that I may have stuck the jack handle through the side of the car. And she goes, oh, you can't confirm or deny it, huh? So guys, if you do something stupid, make it funny, and hopefully you'll make your wife laugh instead of getting yelled at. Pam never yells at me. She's awesome. This is a Royal drop forged movable jaw 8-inch made in Taiwan. This is a Royal. The only thing they left off of here was Royal piece of shit. This I know old people with tighter teeth than this. Just so you guys know, me and Rob, I'm sorry. That's my Elwood education. Rob and I never argue. We just do this for the camera. Hold on, let me try and say that again with a straight face. Fuel pump's on. That's always a good sign.
Just let it cycle a few times?
Yeah.
It sounds like it's pulling air in
Yeah,
once the fuel pump turns off.
that's funny. That's dry. Once more, Rob.
Oh, wait. Got a leak right here. We got a leak right on the crossover.
You know, I always say, if you make these things tight, they work much better. I still hear that sound.
Oh, I could see it. It's coming from the port. Different issue.
Yeah. If that injector is leaking, we could have just hydrolocked it, which means we filled the cylinder with gas. And if we try and crank it over, it's quite possible to bend the rod.
Could we pull the plug? Check it that way.
And it's probably not too hard to get to a plug on this. How can you have a socket set without a... Getting loud outside in Plainview. How do you have a socket set without a spark plug socket? You know what I'm thinking right now. Just crank the thing over, right? But what if we bend a rod? Then it's my fault.
The spark plug socket for my Ducati, what are the odds?
That's right. You won't believe it.
5/8,
You
right?
won't believe it.
Yeah, I believe it.
I actually found another one. I don't know what this one's from.
We're back in the movie Arthur. This is Zagana. Are you picking on tall guys again? How's the weather up there?
Could you reach up the top shelf for me?
Have you seen my friend Nancy? Oh no, that's a girl usually. Have you seen my friend Nancy? Well, this has to go here. Oh, but now that we put the injectors on the inside, they're in the way. So this will bolt here, Rob, but we got to turn the injectors to the outside, so we wasted all that time trying to make it look nice by putting them on the inside, which I really don't know how much better it looks with these on the inside anyway, but that's not a big deal. But what is a big deal is we need to get spacers or washers.
We're good.
Yeah.
Me and hydrolock it.
Yeah. Crank it
We
over
just-
1 second, Rob. Once more. Alright, we're good.
Yeah.
Killed that. That wasn't a spark plug, was it?
So we're not the only ones that drop stuff. I get it.
What's the old saying? Whenever you drop a piece of buttered bread, it always lands butter side down. Well, spark plugs normally, when you drop them, for some reason, they're like a torpedo in it. Work is good. I love work. I can watch it all day. You know what? This is fun. This, you know, it's the more aggravating it is when you get the thing to fire up, it's more rewarding. So never let it get to you.
Here we
Live
go.
life by the seat of the pants.
There you go.
Something ain't right. Well, it backfired. Alright. The last time it was running,
Running great with that ugly black plastic intake.
Let's try it once more, Rob. I was just thinking that. And I'm gonna hold my hand over this vacuum leak. I'm assuming it's a vacuum leak.
We had a fuel leak coming out of the out of this injector back here. It's dripping down the block.
Well, that's interesting. It looks like it's coming from the top. We just replaced those with brand new
Yeah.
O-rings. We have extra, but
Maybe use an extra one then.
well, I'm trying to figure out why it would leak from the top. Maybe when I smashed it. All right, are we really gonna take this apart again? It's still not running right because the second I tried to give it throttle, there's a complete dead spot. I just have a problem with this leaking. It's perfect.
Put the orange one back in.
Did you
It's-
oil that one?
Yeah, I don't know. These are the industry standard. Dead on balls accurate. So we replaced them. What were we talking about? Why did we replace them? Because you should. They were out. I know you guys are too young to remember the commercial for, I don't even know what it was for, but can I fix the transmission? Hold on, fix the transmission.
When was that?
I don't know that one either.
Kidding! How do you not know that? All right, somebody's got to back me up. All right, somebody leave a comment if they know who that was. I don't know if it was from Midas. No, Midas was a muffler shop. Meinig? No, Meinig was not a muffler shop. I don't know. It was definitely a transmission shop. Hands. I'll walk in the house. The first thing Pam's gonna say is, "You stink like gas."
My new cologne, baby.
I'm the love master. All right.
One more time.
Yeah.
It's telling me low fuel pressure.
Still leaking.
It has no fuel pressure. The fuel pressure gauge isn't hooked up. Remember we talked about that?
No.
I was like, "Where's the fuel pressure sensor?" And you said, I think your exact words were, "It needs a fuel pressure sensor."
No.
And I said, "I think it does."
We still leaking?
Oh yeah, and it's still leaking. I mean, we could wrap a rag around it just to get them to Oktoberfest, and then insure them really well. Take a life insurance policy out.
yeah, that would be. Yeah, that's probably the best option there.
This could work out in my favor. I mean, all right, let's take it back apart one more time. I can't even wrap my head around why this would be leaking. We used a brand new O-ring. That leaked. We put the old one back in just in case, unless it's leaking below this O-ring. But this is all solid. This can't leak.
Can you compare two of them together?
You really are smart. No, they look exactly the same. There's nothing. But looking at it, there's literally. Oh, that didn't work out how I wanted it to. That didn't work out how I wanted it to. Notice they were all laughing at me, but nobody's jumping in to help. So this is the port we're talking about. Literally, where'd that light go?
Oh,
It's completely anodized black all the way around. Oh, that is weird. No, 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 and yes, there's... I don't know how that would interfere. See the shiny in the center? Well, right in the center of the hole? Well, it's hard to see, but these are all perfectly anodized. That one's definitely... It almost looks like somebody deburred it with a...
something that.
Yeah, like a countersink. This is the surface that it seals on, this big hole.
Yeah.
Number 5. So this has the correct... Yeah, how the hell does that leak? That's the old seal. Let's see if it's in there. But it leaked with the old seal. It's hard to tell, but that could be slightly tighter.
You
Yeah.
want to, swap 2 injectors to make sure that the injector is good. If it leaks from the same hole, then it's definitely the real.
That too.
That's a good idea. How far do we have to go to test that? Can I hold that fuel rail down?
I mean, it depends on the fuel pressure.
Well, even if I just put the bolts through instead of bolting it
just,
down.
just stick the bolts in.
You know, I'm not an idiot.
Listen.
You know, it wasn't like I was gonna put my finger in the dike. Everybody say hi, John. This is Rob's brother, John. He's got a cool job. He repairs musical instruments.
It is a good job.
For Korg.
Not the flashlight, the flashlight.
Let's make sure we get that one right.
I only make that mistake once.
Good! Done. Fuck. It's leaking worse than ever.
And that's the rail?
Yeah,
Or wait, which one?
the same one.
Yeah, so it's the rail. Yeah, the rail.
No, not the same one. The same injector in number
Oh.
5.
Oh, wait.
Oh, really?
So it's the injector.
Okay.
Why would I do that?
He's thinking. He's thinking
Is
right now.
everything else on the engine?
I do that. I was kidding around before, but I
Yeah, then
really
you
do.
started
I'm like,
doing it.
what? I think we should get one injector to try it first. You have any late night auto post stores around here? Is there any?
Well, there's the 24-hour AutoZone in Levittown.
That's 24 hours?
I'm gonna ask you what year truck it came out of.
You go, well, it's a 1957, but the engine's out of a 2002 or a 2003. We're not really sure.
It's on a Dodge frame with 4 wheels.
AutoZone.
We are going crazy. But oh, that's something else. We are going to Levittown to pick up a fuel injector. $44. So we replace the fuel injector. If it doesn't leak, we know it's a fuel injector. You can get a set of fuel injectors at any time. So we're trying to get it running at least good enough just to get it to Marktoberfest. So a lot of the things that we're doing are a little hokey, to say the least, a little sketchy.
Perfectly fine in the rat rod community.
Do they put LS engines in rat rods?
No,
I
it's
don't
against
think
the law.
I don't know. Type of spray nozzle? I would probably be less confused if I was in Home and Garden and Home Depot.
My name is Phil. You're gonna have to hold. I have a line of customers here. That ticket right there.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
He's louder than me. I don't know if that's possible.
Back up to the flex. Glass. That's what those are.
Give me secrets.
The filament, one of the filaments is shot. It's gonna be the 1157. I'll get it for you.
M P
I know. Quite me. I get used to it.
1 0 0. There it is. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks. All right.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye you say to your girlfriend, not to a guy on the phone. All right, honey, bye-bye. This is bye-bye to a guy.
No, I know, bro.
I said bye.
You said bye-bye. Hi. Bye-bye, Cindy. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. All right, we'll hang up together.
I'm too tired and hungry for this shit.
I mean, really, AutoZone. Besides the asshole manager you have working there. Is that rust? You just can't buy good used shit anymore. At least it's the right injector. We didn't even think to bring an injector with us to match it up. I really have a hard time believing this is rebuilt. Besides that one, this is a big piece of shit. But listen, all we want to do is see if we can get it to not leak. Check your side. Just.
We still have that leak over
something hissing. Did we tighten this one back up? Did I forget that one again?
Could it be?
Oh, yeah, the bottom one. This one's leaking.
Yeah.
That one's leaking. They're both leaking. I don't.
They're all leaking?
Driver side's still leaking.
Yeah, this is bizarre. Cycle it once more.
Oh yeah.
Shut
now we're pouring out.
The one that we changed? Is that leaking?
It's leaking less than the other two. It's a tough one to,
Yeah.
you know, is it the injectors now? Do you need it after set of market injectors with this setup? It does. John, pretend this is a cord keyboard and it's not working correctly. What would you do?
Place the motherboard.
So he's saying replace the motor. Got it.
Rail? Maybe. How much were the rails?
The rails came as a matched
rails
set
came, yeah.
with the
rails came with
manifold. So
manifold.
it's literally, if we took the top O-rings and put just a little bit bigger of an O-ring on it, but
Could there be too much fuel pressure?
that's what I'm thinking. But I don't know if how to install a fuel pump. If the rail had a different size orifice, they would have had to have told you. But if they built this system together to run with a stock injector, why is it leaking?
Seems like it's only this side having the issue. This side is perfectly fine.
Yeah,
So
why
it wouldn't
is
be
that?
the O-rings and it wouldn't be the injectors unless for some reason we just got a bad batch all on this side.
Call it a night?
Yeah.
I think that's all, folks. We've done what we could. We've come to the culmination of frustration in this situation. That's pretty good. I just made that up.
Not bad.